Hello lovely people, it's your girl Ty Blaque N Kulture and you are watching the very first Blaquenkulture video here on YouTube ever in our entire history. I know what you're thinking, this is crazy, this is unprecedented, but it's a crazy unprecedented world that we're living in right now. And what better way to wind down after a long day, sitting in your PJs, watching TikTok videos, and to come here and listen to me talk about the random becomings of the nerd, otaku, and other related communities. But I hear someone say, "Who are you? What do you even do?" Well, those are all really great questions, lovely people. And to answer the first question, my name is Ty Blaque N Kulture. But what does that mean? What exactly do I do? Well, I create original and unique nerd, otaku, and sometimes alternative related content for minorities and people of color with the specification on Black people. Does that mean you only make content for Black people? Does that mean we have to be Black to support you? Those are great questions. First off, no, you do not have to be Black to support me. In fact, please support me. In fact, you can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, support me on Ko-fi, or just like and subscribe this video and share it around because that'd be dope too. As for the question of, is my content solely for Black people? No, it is not, but it is going to have a lot of Afrocentrism to it. It is going to heavily resonate with people who are Black in the nerd community because I am Black. And I think that it only makes sense that my content is going to contain everything that I am. This video is not going to have too much content in it just because this is really an introduction to who I am. Just because, again, we're just getting started out here, building our little culture crew here on YouTube. But I did think it was necessary for me to give you a little bit of something. So I thought, what would be better than to provide you with my top 10 picks of my favorite things from nerd and otaku culture, as well as my top 10 like throw trash can things, like just absolute dislikes from the culture that is the nerd and otaku community. Starting off with my likes. This is in no particular order, but one of the things I love within the nerd and otaku community is the collectible community, or anybody who collects things. Being a clutterbug myself, I love to collect things, so I genuinely love seeing other people's like unique collections within the nerd and otaku community. Even though, me personally, I don't collect it, I do like seeing it in other people's hands. The thing I really like within the nerd and otaku community is the art community. Not just the fan art, I like just the original art and the original content that comes out of the art community. So many things that they pull from comic books, from movies, from anime, from just the amount of creativity is so exponential. I fall in love with it every single time. Another thing I really love within a nerd otaku community is I love the cosplay community. I did used to cosplay a little bit myself some time ago. I don't really cosplay too much anymore. We will see how that changes in the future, but the cosplay community is so wholesome and so wonderful. It does have its ups and downs, but I think at its core, the cosplay community is something that at one time I definitely aspired to have in my own life, and I still enjoy looking at how the cosplayers interact with each other. I really like the gaming community, specifically fighter games. The fighter game community is untouchable, in my eyes anyway. I do find sometimes that people can find fighter games kind of or at least the community that surrounds fighter games kind of toxic, but I really love fighter games. I love the fighting game community. I like the competition. I think it's really fun. I love horror, anything. Books, manga, comic books, TV, cartoons, movies, FX makeup, costumes, you name it. If it has blood, gore, guts, psychological thriller elements to it, I love it. I really genuinely love horror. I really like manga. I think I already talked about liking collectibles, but I really like physical manga as well as comic books. I'm just gonna lump them together. I think that Baby Ty Baby Ty really wanted a collection like that, and when I did have a collection, I was really stupid and I didn't keep up with it, and I ended up selling a lot of my books, or I gave them away to certain people. And now older Ty is just like, that wasn't very smart, but it's genuinely the reason why I aspire to have a very big and vibrant manga and comic book collection, and someday maybe it'll take over an entire room. That is just a dream or a goal. Another thing I really like within the otaku and nerd community is I love the movie show outs for all the superhero movies. There's something about everyone just showing out in like all of their like nerd gear to go watch a movie. That is so endearing. Like, it's genuinely some of the best fun. Something I've really come to love within the nerd and otaku community has got to be anytime the community bands behind like a really important cause or something that's truly, you know, that's changes the community. Anytime the community stands up for a particular cosplayer, or, you know, calls out somebody for doing something wrong, and that's, you know, any pocket of the community or the larger, greater community. I love to see the community protecting itself. I do know that sometimes the community gets a bad rap for not protecting people, but as many times I've seen the community quote-unquote betray itself, I've seen it protect itself so many more times. So I always will stand by the fact that the community really, you know, we are one. We all, it's that family sense that I like about the nerd and otaku community. Finally, I just like the fact that of being a nerd and an otaku. I think there was a time like 10, 20 years ago, being a nerd and, you know, self-proclaiming yourself as a nerd was weird and was wrong, and, you know, bully galore. And now it's just like, if you're not into anime, if you're not into comic books, like, why do you even exist? And I really like the shift. I like the fact that now things that, you know, nerd merch and collectibles and comic books, I love how easily accessible it is. I like that I have the opportunity to pass it down to other people and spread it around. It makes me feel really good on the inside. So just being a nerd, being an otaku, that's top notch right there. And those were all of my likes. Now let's talk about some of the garbage fire I don't like. Now I'm just going to list off the things I dislike, because I ain't trying to get into a rant about anything. So we're just gonna go. Starting with gatekeeping, cosplay shaming, Boku no Pico, toxic Dragon Ball entity, high con prices, people buying all the cool nerd shirts at Walmart. Yo, shopping on a budget, you ain't gotta take 3 of them. People calling all anime just cartoons, toxic online trolls, and last but not least, people who call me a child for collecting nerdy things. 1, I'm not a kid. 2, this stuff, all this stuff, that stuff, no, not the ladybug, that stuff cost a fortune. It cost almost my entire paycheck, or my entire paycheck. Please do not belittle my struggles. Well, lovely people, that's it. Those are my 10 likes and dislikes. We've pretty much covered all the bases. Hopefully you know me a little bit better. There is literally a gazoodles amount of just content coming out, so please stay tuned. If you want to stay up to date on all the content I have coming out, make sure to like and subscribe to this video, hit the bell icon so that you get notified anytime I update a video. As for following me on social media, I do have Facebook and Instagram. I do update my Instagram and Facebook regularly, as well as don't forget to support your girl on Ko-fi. Buy your girl a coffee. It's $3, but you get literally oodles of content that you cannot get anywhere else. Also, I have a website. It's Blaquenkulture.com. You can read original blog posts, some content I haven't dropped literally anywhere else, as well as that's another great place to find out about more of what I do. With that being said, it definitely has been nothing but a pleasure hanging out with y'all, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Bye.